Yo, what up, a-holes? Thank you for tuning in to the Holistic A-Hole podcast. My name is Eric Levi, and I'm the Holistic A-Hole. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing great. Thank you for finding the podcast. If you are new here to the podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy the episode at the end, leave a nice review on iTunes. And since you're new here, maybe not aware of what's happening, go find me on all the social mediums, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search Holistic A-Hole. I'm going to pop right up because that's where I be. So today, we're going to talk about Sody Pop. Soda. Yes. Now, I know I'm not, I know I'm not maybe crossing any new boundaries here that anybody was aware of that, oh my God, soda, not good for you. But it's really so much more because what's really happening with soda is so much more than just being afraid that it's not good for you. I really have an issue, by the way, with this kind of like language we use. And I'm just now kind of coming to this in my life, which is this idea that we say something's good for you or something's bad for you. Oh my God, don't drink soda. It's bad for you. Don't do heroin. It's bad for you. Don't smoke cigarettes. It's bad for you. Don't go to a private college. It's bad for you. Don't go to a liberal arts college. It's bad for you. Whatever. People say things are bad for you all the time. But really, what's the psychology happening there? In reality, most people, when they just hear something's bad for them, they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm going to do it anyways, because that's what I do. That's what we do, right? Somebody tells us not to press the button, you're going to press the freaking button. Someone tells you not to scratch your face, you're going to scratch your face. It's the same thing when it comes to health. And we put these things in categories where we're like, this thing's good for you, this thing's bad for you. And a lot of times, the second you hear something's good for you, it's kind of a turnoff, you know? It's like you want to do the bad thing, right? You don't want to date the nerdy girl, who's like, smart and going places and, she wears glasses and, whatever. She's, she reads a lot of books and she can talk and use big words in conversations. That girl's good for you. But you might not be happy. But when you see the bad girl, you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Granted, she is nothing but bad for you, right? She's got not just you, but she's got a couple boyfriends. She's got, money coming in from different places. She's probably selling weed. She might, have daddy issues. She might be a stripper on the side. She's bad for you. But man, how much fun is she, right? Same thing with food. When you tell people things like, dude, soda's bad for you, people are like, okay, got it. And then what's the next thing they do? They go get soda. Because we all know soda, until you realize what's going on with it, soda's freaking delicious. I lived off soda for the first, 20 years of my life. Loved it. Drank so much soda when I was a kid. I don't know how I'm even still living today with how much soda and just processed sugary garbage and, shit fat meat I put in my face when I was a kid. I don't know how I wasn't fat. I was like a fat dude in a somewhat skinny guy's body. I don't know how I wasn't diabetic. I don't know how I didn't have a freaking heart attack because I just abused my body. But, when it comes to soda, yeah, soda's bad for you, but this is the reason why, okay? Everybody looks at soda and they go, hey, it's got all that sugar. It's got all that high fructose corn syrup. And that stuff is very bad. It's, we've probably talked about it a million times on this podcast alone. There's so much data out there. Just Google high fructose corn syrup and watch what comes up. It's not going to be anybody touting the benefits of high fructose corn syrup, despite the fact it's in literally everything in the grocery store. Most aisles you go up and down in the grocery store, especially in the middle aisles, really mostly the middle aisles, it's all high fructose corn syrup. Some would argue high fructose corn syrup is what has sustained us as an American people for the last, 50, 60 years, I've heard that if you take like a hair sample of like, just like an average American, that it's loaded with corn because we're consuming so much corn and corn syrup. It's disgusting. And, by the way, we also have the highest rates of diabetes and heart disease and cancer in the whole world. So, I'm just going to play the correlation game for a little bit. But there is another kind of hidden part to the great soda debate, and that is the deal with phosphoric acid. As one of my favorite comedians of all time, Jerry Seinfeld, would say, "What's the deal with phosphoric acid?" Great Seinfeld impression, by the way. What is the deal with phosphoric acid? It's the bubbly stuff. It's what gives soda that bite, that first initial, when you like go to a soda fountain. This used to be my favorite thing, especially when I lived in Arizona, which is it would just be so freaking hot all the time, and there was nothing better than going to one of those monstrous Zona freaking gas stations that are like the size of a New York City block, and you walk around these things, and I mean, they've got just the most intense soda fountains you could possibly imagine, right? It's not just like 5 or 6 different Coca-Cola products, Coke, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, whatever. It's like Coke, the Pepsi side, and then all these hidden sodas you didn't even know existed, and then you can jump over and they've got fizzy fruit juices, and they've got, dude, these things are fucking epic. We're talking soda fountains that would make Willy Wonka's chocolate factory jealous. That's how crazy these soda fountains were. And there's nothing better than going to one of those soda fountains when it's like 100 degrees outside, grabbing yourself, dude, no joke, 64 ounces. That was back in the day. Okay, 64 ounces was pretty monstrous, to the point where they had to redesign cup holders in cars and trucks to fit the 64-ounce cup. But little did they know, hiding around the bend in the minds of the great innovators here in America, only the best, somebody was brewing up an 84-ounce freaking bucket. And I think there might even be a 90 or 100 ounce. This is like a fucking tub at this point. When you start hitting over 80 ounces, you are carrying your drink with a handle. That's how big these sodas get. It's not a drink that you put a straw in. It's a goddamn above ground swimming pool that you're drinking just straight up cancer sauce. So there was nothing better than going to one of these soda fountains, though. Look, I hate, but I live this, right? Go to one of these soda fountains and just pour yourself just a freaking refreshing Coca-Cola. Even the word Coca-Cola, like you can feel when I say that, Coca-Cola, you can feel the fizz and the bubbles just popping on the back of your throat, right? Those cups were so big. You could mix sodas. You can do some kind of crazy ass, mixture. Mix up a little Sprite and like blueberry Powerade or something. That's what I used to love to do. It's just the freaking best, right? And then you take a sip of it, and it's like the bubbles and the fizz and the pop and all of it just hits the back of your throat, and it's just the best. We've all been there. We know it. It's literally, there's nothing better. There's a ton of things better, but I'm just saying that for hyperbole. There's nothing better. By the way, I don't even know what hyperbole means. I just like to throw out big words like the nerdy girl. So, so that's phosphoric acid, that pop, that bubble, that just spark, the thing that you get the soda for in the first place. The sugar, that's, that's doing a lot of the lifting. But I'd say the phosphoric acid is doing really, the behind the scenes work. It's the garbage man, just making all of it happen. It's the bass and the drums. The high fructose corn syrup, that's the lead singer with the long hair and the, weighs 98 pounds and is just banging every groupie backstage. Everybody wants the high fructose corn syrup. But the real backbone of the soda, that's the phosphoric acid. So the thing about phosphoric acid, though, is when it goes in your body, what it does is it puts your body, your nervous system, your automatic nervous system, this is your nervous system that controls, all the nerve impulses, all the feelings in your body, controlling a lot of your homeostasis and controlling just a lot of the functions. If you lose a nerve, you can't move a bone or a joint, It's the connection, from your brain to your body or one of the many connections. It's probably the main connection, your nervous system, from your brain telling your body and your joints and your muscles and everything what to do, right? But you have two different systems of your automatic nervous system. You have parasympathetic and you got sympathetic. So sympathetic nervous system, that's fight or flight. We've probably all heard of fight or flight, right? Fight or flight, ancient evolutionary, mode of your body. That what is basically has kept us alive, for the 2 million years or whatever it is we've been around. It's that thing where it's like when you were a caveman and you were on the savannah, it's always on the savannah. It's every example they give the caveman, you're on the savannah. You're never like high above like a snow-capped mountain or overlooking a beautiful lake. You're on the freaking savannah, whatever that is. So you're on the savannah and you're picking berries and you're pulling tubers because you're a good vegan caveman, and that's basically your diet. You hadn't eaten for like 5-6 days. That's pretty much normal. And then you found like a nice little bush of berries and you're like, oh, score. And then you start pulling tubers out of the ground. You're like, oh, we gonna eat good tonight. Get no inflammation. Get all kinds of vitamins and minerals, polyphenols, all that stuff. But then you hear in the distance the call of the great mountain lion. And then what happens? Your body goes, oh shit. Your body just knows. You go, oh shit. And then you run for your life. That's because what's happening is your body is clicking into this mode of we got to survive. And we got to do everything we can to survive. So we got to cut off the digestion. We got to cut blood flow going to the gut. And we have to send all of that blood to all of your, extremities. We got to send it to the legs. We got to send it to the muscles. We got to power up, our superhuman strength. This is the superhuman strength that you hear about a woman years ago pulling a car off of her baby. That was pure adrenaline coming from your adrenals, coming from your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight, right? Nowadays, most fight or flight situations are done while people are looking on their phones. You're looking at Instagram and you see someone and they're just having the time of their life, and now you're fucking pissed, or you're on Facebook and you're arguing with somebody about Trump, or you read a story online that just pisses you off. And you go into fight or flight. You don't realize it, but you do. You're not chilled out. You start stressing. And as soon as you start stressing, boom, you're in fight or flight. And essentially what's happening is your adrenal glands are sending out cortisol. Okay? This is a hormone that is kind of like the policeman of your body, right? I kind of think that and I could be wrong about this, but my theory is the immune system is like the fire department, and it goes around, it's just constantly putting out fires, and it has to be kept in control, because if it's not kept in control, it can work against you. It'll fight the flu, it'll fight chlamydia, it'll fight, coughs and sniffles, but if not treated the right way, it goes crazy and it starts fighting your own internal organs. This is where you get autoimmunity. This is where you get, kids get type 1 diabetes. Adults get things like eczema, swollen joints. You get multiple sclerosis. You get Alzheimer's. You get just all these just terrible diseases that just plague your body and your life, and they're all reversible because all you got to do is just reel in the fire department. You got to be like, hey, fire department, it's cool. There's no fire there. You got to just relax, and your immune system it's the fire department just jacked up on steroids. They just want to go around and just put everything out. And essentially, that's what cortisol kind of does. Cortisol kind of tells the immune system, like, hey, we don't gotta fight the thyroid. We don't gotta fight the kidneys or the liver or the whatever organs. We don't gotta fight the brain. We don't gotta fight white blood cells. Let's just chill out. And then the immune system's like, okay, cool. Let's just chill, right? So cortisol definitely has its place, but in today's society, when you're just jumping in and out of fight and flight all day, fight or flight all day, your cortisol goes crazy. And basically what happens is when you use it too much, you completely drain yourself of it and you experience something called adrenal fatigue. And basically, you ever feel like you've just worked so much, like those of you who work even like 40-hour-a-week jobs that you hate or are stressful, you go work somewhere like Wall Street, you're working 70, 80-hour weeks, and you're just working from the time you wake up to the time you lay down. And I mean, by the end of the week, you just feel just completely drained. Or those of you who have kids and working full time, you're just constantly juggling and, shuttling people places and then working and then cooking and cleaning and yelling and putting things away. And it just never ends. And you just constantly feel drained. And then you start turning on to the coffee or even back to the Coca-Colas. That's adrenal fatigue. And it is terrible for your body. It's the stress response. This is what is literally killing so many people. Like, we could talk about diet all day. We could talk about fried foods. We could talk about, fucking cotton candy. We can talk about whatever. But it's the stress. It's the constant usage of just draining of your adrenal glands. And once that cortisol's gone, it's gone. And it takes months and months of work to get it back, to get your adrenals back in good functional health. And, really your doctor isn't going to help you. He's going to give you some medication that's just going to make it worse. The only real solution to this is a functional medicine doctor who works with things like herbs and more holistic approaches, because that, like nutrition, because in the end, you're not going to get side effects from eating a high fiber diet. You're not going to get side effects from eating more fruits and vegetables and, resistant starch and good high quality fats and grass-fed meat. You're not going to get side effects from that. Not like you are if you start taking, anti-anxiety medication or antidepressants or, that shit just wrecks your body in so many ways, by the way. So what does this have to do with Coke, soda? Well, the phosphoric acid we were talking about, that pop, that fizz, when that goes in your body, it puts you in that sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. And as bad as the sugar is, the even worse part of it is once your body is now in fight or flight, it's immediately taking all of the carbohydrates that go in your body, including the high fructose corn syrup, and it's immediately turning it into fat. It's going, holy shit, the fucking winter's coming. We got mountain lions chasing us. We have to start storing fat because it's going to be a long winter. So we have to store this fat to basically live off of. And then your body starts getting all that fat around your midsection, your stomach, around your kidneys, around, just in those most unflattering places. This is where you start seeing people with the muffin tops and the fupas and the weird, chin fat and just the most unflattering fat you want. There's definitely good fat, I believe it's your subcutaneous fat. That's the good stuff. The brown fat, you want that stuff. But the white shit fat, this is what's putting cellulite on your ass. This is what is, making your gut hang over your balls and you can't see your dick, guys, This is not the fat you want. And if you're drinking something like soda, it's working against you in two different ways. High fructose corn syrup and phosphoric acid that is putting your body right into sympathetic nervous system. So not only are you not able to process the sugar correctly, but all of a sudden your body is now stressing. It's drawing, I believe the minerals from your bones, making your bones weak because your body's becoming very nutrient deficient because it's not digesting nutrients well or at all. So, I mean, it just completely wrecks your body in so many ways. Now, fight or flight as opposed to rest and digest, that's your parasympathetic nervous system. If you do nothing else as far as like trying to control your health, just make it a goal to stay in parasympathetic nervous system as much as possible. And you do whatever you got to do to make this happen. And essentially that means cut out your stress. Every which way. It doesn't matter. If it means you have to quit your job, quit your job. If it means you have to get out of a relationship, get out of a relationship. If it means, whatever it means, whatever that hard decision is you have to do, you can't not be in parasympathetic nervous system, and you can't be in fight or flight because it doesn't matter what you're doing. That shit is gonna literally kill you. And it's not just gonna kill you right away, it's gonna be a slow, ugly process of killing you. The stress will literally start manifesting in again, autoimmune diseases. It's going to start manifesting in gross fat. It's going to start manifesting in depression. It's going to start manifesting in memory loss, low motivation. It's going to start making you fail in a lot of different places. So if you're hanging on to something or someone or some job that's not making you happy in some way, and you're just doing it because it's the habit, just know it's literally shortening your life. So, you have to get in the parasympathetic nervous system. And I promise you, no matter what major life decision you make, if you say, I'm going to do everything I can to get into rest and digest, then that's what I'm going to be in, because your health will be better. You have way more energy. You won't need coffee anymore. And by the way, coffee is a main disruptor. And I don't care what Yahoo News says. I don't care what story you read that you heard coffee with its polyphenols, blah, blah, blah. Eat some fucking blueberries. Eat some goddamn, bone broth or dark leafy greens or what are they? Like broccoli and cauliflower. Like those big, good, fibrous vegetables full of sulforaphane. You're not going to miss the polyphenols from coffee, even though I freaking love coffee. I drink, especially in the summertime, I drink a couple a week, but I haven't had one in a while. It messes with your digestion so bad. It fucks with the, esophageal sphincter. That is basically what gives people acid reflux and all these gut problems. It's what's preventing you from properly digesting your food. Even though they tell you coffee's a diuretic, all it does is just rushes, all of the blood to your gut. So it's just an emergency. That's basically what happens when you drink coffee, and you've probably experienced this. But, at the same time, look, you got to live your life. And if you like coffee, you like coffee. Just know that when you drink coffee, it's not doing your digestion or your adrenals, which we're talking about right now, any freaking good, okay? And especially if you do nothing else, make yourself a promise to not drink another soda or drink as little soda as possible and substitute it with water. Oh my, I know, water. How exciting is that? Well, watch your health turn around by just drinking water. You don't have to bust your ass in the gym. You don't have to, get, the stomach staple surgery. You don't have to join Weight Watchers. You don't have to switch your whole life into the keto diet. All you got to do is just drink more water. And then before you know it, you won't even want soda. Okay? Because again, soda is killing you in two different ways. The sugar and the phosphoric acid. And now you know. Now you know. Now you don't have an excuse. If you've listened all the way to this point, you know every reason why you just shouldn't drink soda. Not because it's bad for you. Oh my God, it's bad for you. No, it's because it's literally wrecking your life. And if you're experiencing these problems where you have maybe blood sugar issues, where you feel low, you feel hypoglycemic, or you have really bad, was it eczema? Your hair is falling out. You start getting numb joints at times. You got shaky leg syndrome. You're nervous. You're worried about stuff. You're depressed. You're anxious. If you got soda in your diet, that's probably the first place to start. And just drink more water. You're hydrated. Your body loves water. And take it another step and get good filtered water. Your body will start working in a lot of really miraculous ways. And I tell you again, it will change your life. So that's that about soda. I'm sure we'll talk about soda again. I'm really excited because I've kind of updated my my podcast equipment situation here. So I don't know. I'm recording. I hope this all recorded. I hope it turned out well. I hope it sounded good. If it sounds a little different from previous podcasts, that's why. And we're going to start having some guests on the podcast, which will be awesome because, let's be honest, I've talked enough. I think I've covered literally everything I could possibly cover. And if you're a loyal listener, I'm truly grateful for you. Thank you so much for being there. I know we got some OGs who have been here. We're getting close to 100 episodes, which is so exciting, right? So keep listening. Make sure you share this with your friends. Share this with your Facebook groups. Share this in your group chats, in your, what's it, my app or whatever? Whatever that app is. Share it on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Shoot me a message. I love hearing from the a-holes. And make sure you are on my Holistic A-hole Facebook page because I'm releasing videos almost every single day. Go on to YouTube and subscribe to the Holistic A-hole YouTube channel. And keep listening, y'all. Catch up on previous episodes you haven't heard, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.